Hi everyone, my name is Georgia. Today's sequence is for anyone with neck and shoulder tension. I know that is probably quite a lot of us. Anyone who is desk bound, and for the most of us who are spending far too much time looking down at phones, laptop screens, that's just generally creating that bad posture that we can feel tension almost probably quite immediately now. And that tension is leading to a lack of mobility of our upper spine, our thoracic spine, and it's also making our breathing less efficient, giving us less space to really expand with our breath properly. So we definitely don't want that. We want to be taking as full as breaths as possible, especially at this time. Nice calming breaths. But we will be starting standing, coming through some neck stretches, some shoulder stretches, and also some moves for mobility to make sure we're feeling nice and free in the upper spine there as well. So if you want to join me standing, you start at the top of the mat, and so will I. I will start at the top of the mat as well. So coming to the top of the mat, rooting down through the feet, finding a nice, just comfortable stance to start with. So taking the feet sit bone distance apart or wider if that feels more stable for you. And we're just having a light push against the floor, a lifting through the belly, torso through the crown of the head. Arms are nice and heavy. So nothing complicated here. We're just standing, but even standing can feel quite complicated sometimes. Just standing tall, standing strong. Just feel how you're holding your body here. Notice where you've placed the shoulders. Are they feeling like they're rounding forwards? Are we pressing the chest forwards? Can we just stand with the shoulders nice and relaxed, arms nice and heavy, and then finding length through both sides of the neck, through the back of the neck here. So just softening your gaze ahead. Just feeling yourself standing tall. And we'll just start to notice the breath here. So in and out through the nose. But just allowing yourself to widen with each breath here. So really become aware of the back of the rib cage, the sides of the rib cage, and maybe the front as well. So with each inhale, we're breathing into the back of the body, seeing if we can widen through that space. You might even feel a stretching sensation as well there. So breathing into the back, breathing into the sides, expand with the breath as gently as possible. Feel everything softening, narrowing back in with the exhale. So just 2 more breaths like that. Inhaling widely. And exhaling. So 1 more full breath. Widen with your breath, nice and gently. Soften with the exhale. So just breathing as naturally as you can throughout this whole sequence. Breathing nice and comfortably. We're going to be taking the hands to the base of the skull here. So cupping the hands around the base of the skull, elbows come in front of you. We're still keeping some support through our center there. So lifting up and in through the lower abdominals, through the belly. Elbows are in front. Soften your knees slightly here. Exhaling, we're slowly going to nod the chin towards the chest. So the hands are here as just a tiny bit of extra weight. We're not pulling on the head here. So hands are just cupped to the base of the skull. Slowly drawing the chin towards the chest. So not jutting the chin forwards, chin lengthens under towards our chest, tucking the chin up into the throat and feeling that length, feeling that stretching through all those deep tissue layers in the back of the body there. Feeling that stretch. This might be quite intense here. Next inhale, we're going to slowly stack up. So again with that, exhaling, maybe bend the knees further this time. Start to gently tuck the chin in towards the chest. Really slowly here, breathing as comfortably as you can. And then with an inhale, slowly pressing down through the feet, gently come all the way up. So we're doing the same thing, bending the knees, but we're going to come over to the side. So see if you can come over on the diagonal towards your right. So we're nodding chin towards the chest, but over to the right side of the body. Keep the knees soft. Feeling that stretch probably down the left side now. So breathing here for me. Just noticing how this feels for you. Is it feeling super tight? Maybe we're not feeling anything at all. Inhale, return to center. Nice and slowly. So strong through the belly to pull us all the way up. Restack the head. Exhaling opposite way. So we're still cupping the base of the skull here over to the left side. Not pulling on the head, just a little bit of extra weight. So I definitely feel it more on this side, pulling through the right side now. Just finding that stretch. And then with an inhale, come all the way back up. So we're going to go 1 more time through center there. Exhaling, soften the knees. Start to come down, chin towards the chest. Feeling that stretching. 1 more full breath here. And then on an inhale, root down to the feet, rise up to center. So interlace the hands to the back of the head here. Open the elbows just as wide as is comfortable without flaring the ribs. So just opening through the front of the shoulders there. And then gently press the head back into the hands. One full breath. And gently release the hands here. So restack the head and bring the hands down by your side. So from here, we're just going to be rolling the shoulders up to the ears. So arms are heavy by the side. Give the shoulders a good hunch up. Push them back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and then push them down the back. So we're bringing the shoulders forwards of the body. Squeeze them up to the ears. Press them back. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Push the shoulder blades down. So again, forwards, squeeze it up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and then press it down. So maybe lift the elbows here, little T-Rex arms. We're going to roll the shoulders forwards, bring it up to the ears, push it back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. So hold that for a moment and then press it down. So a bit of a difference this time. Bring the arms forwards, kind of feels like a little training motion here. Sorry guys, we're going to roll the shoulders forwards, squeeze them up to the ears, squeeze the shoulder blades together, hold this position. Neck is nice and free here. We're going to slowly take right ear over to the right shoulder. And then just start to move the head around here. So I'm going to show you this nice awkward position here that we're holding. We're squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back. The shoulders are still lifted, squeeze together. Let the neck move around here. So feeling that stretching on the left side there. Right chin, your right ear is towards your right shoulder. So just letting the head move around, not throwing the head around here, just as much as is comfortable. So we're going to return the head back to center, release the shoulders down, and then give them a good shake out there. So same on the other side, bring the shoulders forwards, little T-Rex arms, pull the arms up to the ears, squeeze the shoulder blades back, and keep that strength there. So pulling them back together, shoulders are back, shoulder blades are squeezed together, left ear to left shoulder. Again, let's find a little bit of movement there. So just as much as is comfortable, allowing the head to just start to move. Still breathing. Brilliant. Awesome. So keep that squeeze, and then we'll slowly restack the head. Press the shoulder blades back, and again, give them a good roll out here. So roll the shoulders up, press them back down. Take the hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers and then pull the shoulders down. So we're still keeping that strength in the belly. We're drawing the shoulder blades down the back and pulling the hands down towards the floor. So one more full breath here. And then release the hands. So we're going to be coming down to the mat. Taking the feet sit bone distance apart again. We're going to cup the base of the skull once again. So soften your knees. On an exhale, chin comes in towards the chest. Again, we're rolling down, don't pull on the head, it's just that little extra bit of weight coming halfway down here. So, or you might be feeling a lot more of a stretch there. Once you're about halfway, slowly release the hands, take them down to the mat. So we're going to be keeping 1 foot forward here. I'm going to start with my left, step the opposite back and come into a low lunge. We're going to take the back knee under the back hip. So for me, left knee is forwards, right knee is back. You can follow along with that one too. And we're going to keep the right hand rooted to the floor, still strong within the belly here. So right hand is rooted. Take your left hand, again cupping the base of the skull here, so supporting the head. Quite strong in that right arm, not putting too much force down because we don't want to tire our shoulders out here as well. And we're finding a little twist. So with the inhale, start to just rotate the ribs out towards the side of that front foot. And we're just starting to keep the head supported in the hands. So you can rest the head into the hands, opening that armpit, elbow out towards the side. And then maybe start to move the head around here. So we can keep the head nice and heavy. Have a little move around. With your next exhale, return back to the center. So inhaling, finding that rotation, lift up and in with the belly, find that support. Draw the rib cage out towards left side for me. And then maybe we give the head just a little loosening up there. Exhale, return back. So we're going to go once more like that. Gently lifting through the belly, rotate the ribs out to the side, let the head move around here. It might even feel good to let the arm drape over slightly, rotating out, find that twist. Let the head be heavy, support the head once again. We will come back to center. So we're going to come into a side lunge now. Both hands ground down, tuck under your back toes and lift that back leg. So toes are going to pivot to the long edge of the mat. And we're going to bend that back knee, push the hip back and away. So fold from that hip joint, press the hip back, And we're going to see if we can keep the hands towards that front foot. So don't worry if they slide towards you more, just reaching in that direction. We're pressing that thigh out, so we might even feel a stretch on that outer thigh there. Hands reach over towards the front foot, keeping those toes pressed down. And then again, let go of the head here. So it doesn't matter if the arms are here, but see if you can reach that outside arm around. We've got a side stretch through that side of the body here, and we're letting go of the head. So keep strong in the belly here, let go of the head. Maybe it feels good to move it around. But see if you can find that side stretch as well here. So if I'm reaching, I'm feeling that stretch all the way down to this side there, and I'm pressing that thigh out in line with those toes there. One more full breath. Brilliant. So from here, we're going to slide the hands all the way around. We're going to do the same on the opposite side. Hair again everywhere. So opposite knee under that back hip, and then restacking the front. So same again, we're coming into that twist. Outside hand is nice and rooted. Again, try not to put too much pressure on, but we want that support and strength in the shoulder. Opposite hand comes to the back at the head. So cupping the base of the skull into the palm. Slowly rotate the ribs out towards the side. Oh, this side feels way tighter for me. Rotating out to your sweet spot here, guys. So not pushing anything. Maybe we can let go of the head slightly. Keep the head supporting the head there. The head is pretty heavy. It's incredibly heavy. Brilliant. And then we'll come back to center with an exhale. So we've got two more there. Inhaling, rotate the ribs out to the side. Armpit, elbow lifts up to the ceiling. And have a good wiggle around there. Maybe it feels good to move the head round. Up to you. Just moving slowly. Come back to the center. Last one. So we're rotating out. Great. Maybe it feels good to let go of that arm. Finding even that side stretch to the side. Let go of the head. You can support the head if that feels best. But just finding that rotation. Finding that mobility within our upper spine. Letting go of the head. So return back to the center, guys. Hand to the head. Support yourself. Frame your front foot. Tuck under the back toes. Lift up. Into our side lunge on the opposite side. So pivot your toes again to the long edge. Opposite knee bends this time. Straightening the other leg. Can we keep the hands reaching in that direction? So pressing the hips back and away rather than the knee moving forwards. Push the hips back. Thigh presses outwards. Reach towards the opposite side. So no worries if the hands come closer. No worries if you need to bend that knee as well. Just make sure you're nice and comfortable. See if we can find that side stretch all the way through that side and let go of the head. So it almost feels good to like drag along the floor here. Pull back on the floor. Fantastic. So we're going to slide all the way around. Meet back here. We're going to step back to a downward facing dog. So slowly step yourself back. Push away from the top of the mat. If we're not feeling down dog today, come straight down to child's pose for me. Otherwise, downward facing dog. Push the hips back and away. We're strong in the arms. And we're lengthening through the spine here. So holding here. If you want to, have a good pedal out. Lengthen through the back of the leg. I'm sure if we're feeling desk bound, if you are desk bound, hamstrings are probably feeling a little bit tight there as well. So press away from the top of the mat. And then we're going to come into a bit of a shoulder shrug here. My neck just keeps getting stuck around my chin. So finding the length in the spine in your down dog, and then start to push away from the top of the mat. So shoulders draw up to the ears, and then let the shoulder blades slide down. So press away and slide them down the back. So just like a good shrug of the shoulders up to the ears. If this is feeling too much today, come straight on down to your child's pose. Otherwise, we'll shrug the shoulders, finding that strength in the shoulders as well. Pressing away. Last one. Push the top of the mat away. And then release. So finding your down dog. Awesome. And then we're going to come on down to our all fours here. Gently release down. Hands are under the shoulders. Knees are under the hips. So we're coming into our cat and cow, but mostly our cat. So less cow today. Less cow. Knees under the hips, hands under shoulders. And we're going to find our cat, so untuck the toes if that's comfortable. Doesn't matter if they're tucked, but just rounding through the back. Exhale, really pull the belly up into the back here. Push the floor away and then start to gently lift the chin up into the chest slightly. So full on double chin here. Press, press, press. Inhale, just coming to and neutral. Lengthen through the head there. So through the head, through the neck. So exhaling, scooping belly up into the back. Push the floor away. And then inhale. Lengthen forwards. Again, exhaling. Maybe it feels good to nod the head around a little bit here. Have a bit of a wiggle. Up to you. If not, just stay with the chin tucking in. Push away. And then return to center. So last one there. Give the head a wiggle while finding the chin lengthening in towards the chest. Brilliant. And then we'll return to center. So coming into another little twisting maneuver, just to find some mobility again through the upper spine. We're going to keep the left hand grounded. Take the right hand to the back of the head. So aiming to keep the hips as level as we can here, strong through that left arm. Gently push the floor away with that left arm. Open the chest out to the side. Level back out for me there. So twice more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale, strong through the belly. On the exhale, we're going to take that hand and thread it all the way through and under here. So I'll show you from the front. We're threading the arm all the way through and under. Come down onto the right shoulder blade. Come up onto your left fingertips and almost stacking the shoulders here. Hips as level as we can. Push that right hand down into the floor. Rest your head. And then press the floor away with that left arm. So feeling that stretch all the way on that right side of our upper spine, of the shoulder. Brilliant. And then with an inhale, root down through that left hand. Slowly unthread the arm. If it's comfortable, can we take that arm all the way up to the ceiling? Pull up and in with the belly. Reach that arm up. Exhale, return it to center. So again on the other side. So both hands are rooted. Right hand is down. Left hand to the back of the head, sorry. So strong through that right arm. Lift up and in with the belly. Rotate yourself out to the left. Inhale. Exhale, return to center. So inhaling, opening out, and exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale, can we take that hand and thread it all the way through and under, all the way under. Normally I can crack my back doing this and it feels so good. So right fingertips to the floor, rest the head. See if we can stack the shoulders, push the back of that left hand down into the floor here. So finding that twist. Brilliant. And we're coming all the way back through, root down through that right hand, unthread the left arm, take it all the way back up, maybe. Exhale, bring it down to the floor. So we're going to come down onto our chest, wiggle the legs back slightly, walk your hands forward, soften the elbows, lower the chest down to the mat. So we're meeting down here. Coming into a front body opener, a chest opener. So we're going to take our right elbow out to the side, nice little robot arm here. Right elbow in line with the shoulder, fingers pointing up towards the space in front here. So lying down on our belly, left fingertips come under your left shoulder, and we're going to take the gaze over to the left. So from here, we're pushing through the left hand, lifting up the left shoulder, lift up your left leg, and we're slowly going to cross that over just to plant the toes behind. So we're opening through that right side of the shoulder, breathing. Not pushing anything here, we're just finding that sweet spot. One more full breath, and we'll return it to center. So slowly bring that leg round, bring the chest back down to the mat, swap sides. Right hand under the left, right hand under your right, left elbow in line with the shoulder, fingers point forwards, and again, so turning the gaze towards the right this time. Gently press yourself away from the floor. So here might be enough, or maybe we can take that right leg over, take the toes behind, so we're getting a bit of a twist, and stretching through the front of the body here. Yeah, one more full breath. Let's return it back to center here. Gently back down. Face to the floor, hands under your shoulders. Gently press yourself back. We're coming on into a child's pose. So choose which variation you want here. We can have the knees together, or we can take the knees wider to stretch out more through the hips. They're up to you. So I'm going to take the knees together. We're going to reach the arms forwards and maybe come up onto your fingertips here. How does that feel to really reach out through the shoulders? If not, we'll flatten the palms down. So just taking a moment here, melt down to the floor, find that wide breath. So seeing if we can widen through the back of the body, widen through the sides. Make space for yourself to breathe. Brilliant. And from here we're going to walk both hands over to the right. See if you can keep your left hip rooted here, so try not to let the left hip lift up too high. Wriggle your left hand, so I'll face you all the way over to the right. Left hand is wriggling just further past your right. So we're feeling that side stretch all the way through the side of the body. Bow the head. So stay here. Or another nice one is to flip the palm. So little finger points down, thumb is facing up. And then use the opposite arm to almost pull that arm away and keep that left hip rooted. So you might feel an even more length and stretch through that left side. Now let go of the head. One more full breath. Fantastic. Let's walk the hands back to center and over to the other side. So with this time we're keeping that right hip rooted. Wriggle the left hand further away. Oh my goodness, this side is completely different from me. Brilliant. So up to you, we can stay here, we can flip that palm, use the left hand to gently lengthen through that right arm further. Feeling that stretch through the side. Brilliant, and we'll return it back to center. So one more full breath through the center there. Bow the head. Maybe the arms feel better, taking them by the side. And then we're going to come on over onto our seat. So wriggling yourself around onto your seat here. Have a swivel round. And we're just going to lower down onto our forearms. So take the elbows underneath the shoulders, fingers pointing forward, and you might already feel there's quite a big stretch through the front of the shoulders here. So if so, stay here, let the head be nice and relaxed. Otherwise, we're going to push the floor away, strong through the forearms, pressing the floor away. Maybe it feels good to just start to let the head go here. If not, keep it gazing towards the knees, just opening through the chest. Keep pushing the floor away, so we're feeling that stretch through the front of the shoulders. And then super gently just returning the head back up. Swivel, swivel, wiggle yourself down. And we're just coming down onto our backs here now. So taking out the massive bun. And let yourself rest down here. So wherever we are, just resting down on the mat now. So we are nearly done here, guys. So just taking the feet, if it feels comfortable, keep the feet planted on the floor, or feel free to lengthen the legs all the way out. So maybe we take the arms a bit wider here. Full on double chin mode here. We're going to be tucking the chin again in towards the chest. So from this lying down position, without lifting the head off the floor, we're just slowly tucking the chin into the chest. So double chin, make the funny voice, and then lengthening up to the ceiling. So double chin, and then lengthening. So we're just creating that length through the back of the neck there. Stretching out those muscles and release. Brilliant. So we're starting to just roll the head over towards one side and let the neck just be heavier, gazing to one side. If it feels good, maybe take the arms a bit wider so fingers can point back to the space behind you, and maybe it feels good to just open more through the chest there. So gazing to one side. One more full breath here. And then super gently turning the head over to the other side. Awesome, one more full breath. And we'll return the head back to center. So up to you if you want to finish here, or if you'd like to have a little savasana here before you carry on with your day, or you head on to bed, whatever you are up to right now. So I'll take you through a little savasana here, just a little more relaxation to help us release through the shoulders and through the neck there. So maybe it feels good to take the arms a bit wider, give the shoulder blades a wriggle around here, so let them feel flat on the back and flat on the mat. Knees can stay bent like this, or we can straighten the legs all the way out, however's comfortable for you. So just closing the eyes, soften the gaze. Closing the eyes or softening the gaze, sorry. Feeling that movement of the breath through the body, feeling hopefully that space you've created to maybe find a slightly wider breath here. And so just sending your awareness to the top of the shoulders, feeling that space. So maybe you feel that they're still quite high up towards the ears, maybe again give them a wriggle away from the shoulders, actively, consciously being aware of that space and seeing if you can soften through that space even more. Finding length through the back of the neck, softening through the jaw, letting go of any grip in the teeth and softening through the eyelids, all the facial features just melting down here. Yeah, so just giving yourself a few moments just to be still here, to just let the body be heavy on the floor, let the body be held. No tension is needed here, we're just being held by the mat, by the floor, by the ground beneath. Again, just still being aware of that movement of the breath through the body, that widening of the back, widening of the sides. And we're just going to start to move the body here. So maybe it feels good here to just start to interlace the hands behind, push the fingers, push the palms back in a way, and then let the arms just be heavy, again opening through the chest. So we're going to come on up to a comfortable seat. Feel free to take a full body stretch here and then make your way onto a seat. So roll onto your side or come up in your own way. Just moving nice and slowly. And we will meet in a seat. Awesome. So sitting however suits you. Adjusting so much hair. Lots of hair going on there. So sitting nice and comfortably, whether that's kneeling, whether that's cross-legged, or feel free to sit in a chair or lean up against a wall there. So just lengthening through the spine again, sitting up as tall as we can, give the shoulders a good hunch up to the ears, push them back again, find that squeeze, and then pull or push them down back, whatever that feels like to you, just pressing them away and down, let go of the shoulders. So we're actually going to cross the hands over the chest and take hold of the top of the shoulders there, so the upper traps there. We're just going to press index finger, middle finger into those points and just give yourself a bit of a self-massage here. So have a wiggle around with the fingers, just gently, quite firmly pressing into there, depending on how much pressure you can take there. But just keeping the neck nice and soft, keeping the throat nice and soft. And just helping us to bring that awareness to that space so we can soften that area. So if we're not aware of where we're holding that tension, or if we're just squeezing in that space, sometimes just bringing a bit of touch to that area can help us bring more awareness there and to then help us relax into that space. So give yourself a good poke and a press around, a little bit of a massage. I'm quite sure there is like a lump in one of my shoulders. Lots of knots. Ooh. You might find some gristly bits of the shoulders. So a good squeeze there, firmly press down, take a big inhale and let the breath go. Awesome, release the hands here. So awesome, I hope you are feeling a little more relief through the neck and the shoulders. They're feeling a little more relaxed to go on with your day or whatever it is you are doing now. But thank you so much for joining me. I would love to know how you found that. But yes, thanks again guys. Thank you so much. Namaste.